Well, today I'd like to interview my daughter-in-law, Paula. And Paula, we're just going to talk a little bit about your health experiences and, what you found about good nutrition and how it's affected you. And so first, let's start off with just how did you get interested in nutrition?
Well, from you. It was when I was dating your son, and he shared with you about I have an eye disease, and you took an interest in me and told me about Shaklee and wanted me to start all these vitamins. And I'm a very skeptical person,
So you literally thought that your future mother-in-law was a little whacked out, right?
No.
You thought, well, anyway, so you were skeptical about beginning a nutritional program. And,
yeah,
okay.
I'm skeptical about a lot of things, and so I have to do the research. And so I started researching Shaklee as a company and researching nutrition, and I'd always had an interest in nutrition, even though I hadn't really lived a healthy lifestyle. And so I started doing this research, and everything I found was good, and so I thought, why not? I'll try it. And then you recommended to me to go to this nutritionist, see this nutritionist, and where is he? Oregon?
Oregon,
And
this was Dr. Browse.
So I talked with him, and I went through his Build a Better You program, and started, the nutrition there. And then I got pregnant, and after Dave and I were married, obviously.
That's always good to say.
Yeah. And kind of put things on hold for a little while. And then, really in the last year or so, I started getting more into, nutrition, and finding that even what I thought was healthy a couple of years ago is not healthy. So yeah, it's been a really incredible journey, and at this point I have a lot more energy, and obviously I had extreme anemia at the time, and found that out.
This was before you got into nutrition.
Right.
You had extreme anemia.
And
so you were tired all the time. You weren't getting any oxygen to your body.
Tired all the time, had nosebleeds all the time, and yet when I asked the doctor if I was anemic, they said no, because they looked at one specific blood test that they're taught to look at, and it wasn't until Dr. Browse had a whole panel of blood work requested that we found that I was severely anemic. So it was quite interesting. But so yeah, I don't have that anymore. I have energy, and just in general, just feel so much better, and I'm just not, I used to go to the doctor, I'd get like a sinus infection probably once every couple of months, and I don't.
Yes, I remember that when you and David were first going together.
I was always sick, and people would tell me, "You're always sick," and I was like, "No, I'm not." And,
this is normal, right?
Yeah. And I haven't been to the doctor for anything in the last 2 years, other than a minor issue once. So it's just a world of difference to me.
So Paula,
very freeing.
Very free. It is, and to have good energy and have energy at the end of the day. Now, I'm not saying that if you have little ones and they're up all night, but you're able to deal with stresses of life much easier then. Paula, tell us a little bit about before and after. I mean, were you able to see any difference in your, I call malady, that you have with eyes? Is there any changes that way, or?
Well, the main difference really has just been that I used to be on a medicine for my eyes. It was the only medicine that they could give me, called Diamox, and it's actually a diuretic, and it's what skiers take when they go skiing to handle the altitude.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
But I had to be on it long term, and if you take it for more than a week or whatever, then you go through a period of time where you have some really strange side effects, tingling in your hands and your feet. You can't drink anything fizzy. It feels really weird in
Carbonated,
your mouth. Things taste really strange. And then after a time, that goes away, but you have to be on it for a good month or so. So it wasn't a fun medicine to be on, plus it's hard on your kidneys. And I got off of it when I was pregnant, naturally. And then when I went to the doctor last year, I just never got back on it. And the eye doctor said, I don't think you need it.
Interesting.
So, and the whole purpose in it was to improve my visual acuity. It won't prevent the disease from progressing, but it does improve your acuity, and my acuity is fine now. So the swelling, it shows that I'm not getting that severe swelling that I was having before.
So it's like an inflammation then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's a product that we all take, and one is, and of course when you're dealing with anything, and I've done other interviews with people that have autoimmune diseases, and, we talk about RX for Healthier Life, which contains, a multivitamin, a B complex, an omega carotenoid, and an optofloral, and then the Nutriferon, which is to modulate your immune system, and then a product called Vivix, and then, there's the Shaklee proteins that are really good because they're plant-based and easy to digest. So all of those have to do with our, immune systems and keeping a healthy cell. But, and we look at one product that we all love, and then that's Vivix too. And Vivix, one thing that it does, and we're talking about any eye disease, whether it's, macular degeneration, or whether it's, retinitis pigmitosis, or any eye disease, diseases all have an inflammatory base. We find a lot of people do get better with macular and other diseases of the eye because the Vivix really helps with what we call the multiplication of mitochondria. And mitochondria is what gives the energy to the cell, And so we see a lot of changes for people that have used that product on a consistent basis, just increasing the energy to the cell by multiplying the mitochondria. So that, that's Vivix. I know you take that.
Yeah, that's, I guess I should know what all I take. I take the Vitalizer pack, which actually I was taking everything that's in the Vitalizer pack until recently, except for the vitamin E. And then we did a test, and it showed that I was deficient on vitamin E, so I started taking the Vitalizer pack instead. So I take the Vitalizer pack, I take Vivix, I take Nutriferon. I typically take Nutriferon twice a day.
Right.
And I do, Dave and I, every morning we have a shake that we make out of cinch and then just the protein, and then we put spinach and frozen banana and frozen peach.
You're making me hungry.
Almond milk. Yeah, so that's our breakfast every morning. And I find that if I don't, on the weekend, a lot of times we'll have eggs or pancakes one morning or something else.
To change the variety, huh?
Yeah, and almost always I notice a difference because if you know a lot about what goes into the shake, it's all alkaline foods, and it makes a big difference to start your day that way. So we've really loved doing the shakes in the morning, and trying to think if there's anything else that. Oh yeah, I also take the COQ10.
CoQ10, yeah, the CoQ heart that Shaklee makes. We're talking about mitochondria and energy to the cell. Vivix multiplies the mitochondria, but the CoQ10 or CoQ heart that Shaklee makes, it actually aids in the energy to each cell too. So CoQ10 interact with the mitochondria. So there's a lot of good nutrition that you're taking throughout the day.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, a lot of people think that they can do it all with food.
Yeah.
And in today's world, it's just virtually almost impossible to get the nutrition. So Paula, we're going to share this story and with people, and then the following email that you'll probably get from you is we're going to do something on showing you a Nova film on what we call the genes or epigenomes, and how nutrition affects the genes that we have that we're born with. Good nutrition can either can cut off some of these bad things that happen when the genes turn on and off. And environment like toxins and bad nutrition can turn them on to a negative effect. So in a future email, you're going to be getting that, so you'll learn why good nutrition is real important. And Paula, I thank you for sharing your story today. It's been real interesting.
I should also note that I've only been doing this for 3.5 years now, so and I've seen a huge difference. So I think Shaklee says, you can have a whole new you in 7 years.
Right. It's your body replaces
so I'm halfway there.
So you have half of a new body now.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, great. Well, good. And if you have any questions for Paul, anything, just feel free to contact her or me, and we'll be happy to share any information that we have. Thank you for sharing your time today, Paul. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you.